Okay guys, I'm working on my 99 Dodge Ram 2500. It's got a rear main seal oil leak. It's leaking all around the bottom here. This is the bottom of the pan. There's the plug, but it's leaking out of the back. All around the back of the transmission. I mean, it's running oil everywhere. And I've just been avoiding it, adding oil every now and then, but now I'm gonna change it out. Change out the rear main seal and put a new pan seal. I think maybe the pan might have been leaking as well. Anyway, oh hey, by the way, I added a block heater right there in one of those freeze plug holes. That thing's great. It starts up real easy with that. Alright, I'll come back. Okay, there we had the pan off. That's the dipstick hanging down. Oil pump. Filter's kind of dirty. Anyway, that seal looks pretty bad. So I was trying to avoid taking off this thin metal sheet at the bottom of the transmission. I don't think I'm going to get that seal out of there very well without taking it off, so I'm going to have to take the starter off to get to it. I got that bolt, that nut loosened. There's one on top I got to get to. But we'll take that off, then that way we can get it all cleaned up too and get a better look. But for a little over 200,000 miles, I guess it don't look too bad in there. Well, I think it's just going to be the seal, the pan seal. I don't think that rear main seal is all that messed up. My torque converter is all pretty dry back in there. I think it would be a lot more oily if the rear main seal was jacked up. That's where the starter went. That empty spot there on top, that was a bolt holding the engine of the transmission. It was loose. There were only two holding the starter on. That stud there and then a bolt here. Otherwise, looks okay. Get it all cleaned up. Put the new gasket on. We're gonna have to put some liquid gasket sealer right there at those half moon spots and where the front cover meets the rest of the engine block. We'll do that in the front and the back here. Gotta get it more cleaned up. Okay guys, I got the oil pan all cleaned out. I got all the gasket surfaces nice and clean here on the pan and on the block. I've zip tied the gasket in about 6 places here to hold it in place, and they're loose. They're not real tight. And after I get about 4 bolts in, I'll go ahead and snip them off and get them out of the way. But that'll keep it in place while I'm messing with it, getting it up there. With the gasket, a couple things. This thicker part goes in the front, and the thinner part stays in the back. And you can see, like here, there's a little deviation in the gasket that lines up there and on this side, so you can't put it on backwards. Also, I'm going to use some gasket maker. I'm going to put some here on each one of the little half moon spots on the front and back, and also there's a spot up here on the engine block where the front cover meets the engine block, and I'll put some there. That'll just make sure all the corners are nice and sealed up. Alright, we'll get back with it here in just a sec. Okay guys, here just wanted to show you, I'm putting this gasket maker in. So on this side you can see there's a little bit of a gap back there. And on this side I've already put in some of that gasket maker right back there in that gap, just so it seals everything up. And up here in the front, put some of that corner there again, but I also put some right there where the front cover meets the engine block, right along that seam. Same thing over here. So I'm going to put this last bit on, and we'll put the pan on. Okay, just to follow up with the oil pan gasket on the 99 Dodge Ram. I don't know if I specified earlier, but the engine is a 5.9 liter gasoline engine. After putting the new gasket on, it's been holding up just fine, no leaks. So I'm pretty confident that the rear main seal wasn't leaking, it was just the gasket itself. Only thing I really wanted to add was that when you have the pan off, just make sure that you check out the oil pickup tube and make sure the screen is cleared out, there's not any gunk. You really can't see very much of the screen, but there's a bigger surface area inside, so reach in there with some narrow small screwdriver or something to try to clean any debris out of there. That is pretty much it. I'm sorry there wasn't more detailed information on getting the pan on and off, but it is pretty straightforward. You will have to take off the starter so that you can get that little thin sheet out from covering up the flywheel or the torque converter. Other than that, that's it. I hope you guys the best of luck. Good luck.